Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video, doing European outlook for today's second video. So it's on Thursday, having a detailed look at the weather for the next week, 10 days, not just through the UK, but through Europe as well. And I shall get time back for you very shortly, just to say that first video today was our 6 AM upload. Now 10 to 14 day with all our break features coming up for you later on this afternoon, and then we can be live streaming from 8 PM tonight, so that's going to be a lot of fun, and that'll be later on this evening. But if you like, share, subscribe the video, so I hope you're having a lovely Thursday. Thank you so much to everybody for doing that. Right, so the current situation across Europe is that there's a ridge from the southwest up to the northeast, really, a ridge of high pressure dominates across most parts of Europe at the moment, but to the east of that, we've got a trough over the eastern parts of Europe, being shower conditions, and we've got low pressure coming in off the Atlantic into far north and northwest of Europe. Upper air temperatures are pretty cool, especially through these northern, central and eastern regions. Warmest upper air temperatures are in the west and particularly in the southwestern part of Europe. Precipitation-wise, lots of dry weather with that ridge of high pressure from Spain and Portugal all the way up to the Baltic Sea and northeastern parts of Europe. But to the east of that, we have got some heavy showers, and they're stretching from like western Russia down in towards Ukraine and towards the Black Sea as well. Some heavy showers and thunderstorms through North Africa and into the central bowl of the Mediterranean, and a band of rain coming in off the Atlantic through Ireland, the UK, and just heading in towards Norway as well. Temperature-wise, we're pretty cool across many central, northern and eastern regions, but it is warmer to the west and particularly to the southwest. Temperatures into the mid to maybe upper 20s Celsius down across central and southern parts of Spain and Portugal, for example. Tomorrow, Friday, we'll take that trough of low pressure eastwards as the ridge weakens across Europe. Many areas are looking quite cool with the upper air temperature, especially so in these north regions. Again, the warmest upper air temperatures are down in the south and in the southwest of Europe. Rainfall-wise, that band of wet weather is pushing into the southeastern part of the UK, into northern France, in towards the Low Countries as well, and heading in towards Denmark and southern parts of Norway too, possibly getting into some southern parts of Sweden as well. Which is first sort of kicking off through eastern Spain, but actually many central, southern, southwestern areas look mostly dry, and then we run back into those showers in the far eastern side of Europe. The temperatures look pretty cool across northern Europe once again. They are warmer, but not necessarily all that hot, down in the southern and southwestern part of Europe. Probably not much more than what you expect from the time of the year through Spain and into the central bowl of the Med. Moving into the weekend, high pressure out of the Atlantic will pull in a north to northeasterly wind across the western side of Europe, so that's going to be quite cool. Meanwhile, that trough continues to progress further eastwards. There's an area of low pressure across western parts of Russia. High pressure is to the far north of Scandinavia. The upper air temperatures look pretty cool across many northern, western, northwestern parts of the continent. You really have to go down to the far southern part of the continent to find the hotter weather. So down into the Mediterranean, especially again around North Africa, into southern eastern parts of Spain. Quite hot upper air temperatures there, but pretty warm through the Adriatic into the Balkans and down to the southeastern corner of the Mediterranean as well. That's how rainfall looks on Saturday. So that band of wet weather is through northern Germany, into Belgium, Holland and the Netherlands, and into northern parts of France as well. Meanwhile, I've got torrential thunderstorms getting going here across northern Italy, over the Alps in particular, and being to extend through the Côte d'Azur, maybe around the southern part of France. Things beginning to wobble there, maybe even into the central bowl of the Med. Some heavy showers and storms kicking off. Eastern Europe looking mostly dry, actually, and then we're going to have some showery conditions through Scandinavia. Might be cold enough for a little bit of snow across the far north of Scandi. That's how the temperature looks. Pretty cold across the far north of Europe, northern Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, and whatnot. Looking pretty chilly through there. Elsewhere, it's quite a cool scene really in many areas. Again, the hottest weather will be in the far south and southwest on Saturday. But so look, on Sunday, so a deepening area of low pressure in the Norwegian Sea is going to start to try and bring some wet and windy weather in towards Scandinavia and also possibly the UK and Ireland as this ridge of high pressure pulls further out into the Atlantic. Otherwise, we've got slack gradients, probably suggesting more showers through many of these western, central and eastern parts of Europe on Sunday. The upper air temperatures are looking generally quite cool, hottest now through the Mediterranean, and it does look quite unsettled too. Many of these central areas having heavy showers, so all the way from like eastern France into Germany, and then further eastwards over towards the eastern side of Europe actually find some heavy showers, and also down through Italy around the Adriatic into the Balkans, again heavy showers and thunderstorms certainly possible through there. Much of northern Europe was a little bit drier, I'll say, but we've got this very wet and windy weather pushing into the north of Scotland and moving towards Norway by the end of Sunday afternoon. I mean, down into the Mediterranean again, a lot of dry weather, but showers scattered about, not completely dry, through the central and western part of the bed. The east part of the bed, actually, Greece and Turkey looking mostly dry there on Sunday. Temperatures look generally quite cool, really, in most areas, probably a bit below par in many parts of Europe, particularly so across the far north of Europe once again. So on into Monday, we have that deep area of low pressure then in the Norwegian Sea, that's taking wet weather in across Scandinavia and also pulling in cooler or even colder northerly winds into the western part of Europe. That low pressure will be the main driver of the weather, I think, across much of northern Europe anyway, through much of next week. Our temperatures hottest in the south and the southeastern part of Europe, especially through the eastern part of the Mediterranean, but pretty cool really across most central, northern and western parts of Europe. Wet and windy conditions moving from the UK and Ireland through Scandinavia into northern Germany and also into the Low Countries as well. Again, could be cold enough, a little bit of snow, so with some of this precipitation in the far north Europe. Eastern Europe looks a bit showery, and then the western southwestern part of Europe looking a little bit drier. Temperatures look like that. Cold across much of Scandinavia. Certainly cold, but some snow falls, I think, over the highest ground in Arctic portions of Norway and Sweden. And pretty cool, really, in many northern and western and central areas. It's really in the east, the southeast and through the Med, but we're hanging on to some residual warmth. Tuesday sees that area of low pressure sitting somewhere between Scotland and Norway. Again, that will bring lots of unsettled weather to much of northern and western Europe. Quite cool as well with those upper air temperatures. Again, we do have some hot weather in this far eastern part of Europe and in the southeast. So from the Black Sea down through Turkey, Greece, looking pretty hot through there. Warm, just about clinging on through the Balkans to Italy as well, and still pretty warm through southern parts of Spain and Portugal. But further northwest of that, upper air temperatures with the area of low pressure looking really quite cool. And there'll be lots of heavy showers and longer spells of rain rotating around the area of low pressure, so bands of rain with showers in between, dominating across many parts of Europe, actually, central, northern, western and also eastern Europe as we go through Tuesday. Some heavy showers and thunderstorms through southern parts of Italy, also trying to push in towards Greece, and then we find France, Spain, Portugal just looking that little bit drier on Tuesday. The temperatures are going to be hottest in the far east and southeastern corner and through the Med, but cool out to the north and to the northwest of Europe, once again below par through there. By Wednesday, that area of low pressure is filling and sitting over Denmark, but still, much of central, northern and western Europe looking unsettled with that big area of low pressure, bringing further heavy showers and long spells of rain in many areas. The upper air temperatures continue to look quite cool with that area of low pressure, the hottest upper air temperatures in the far southeastern part of Europe and again through much of the Mediterranean. And precipitation-wise, once more we just see increasing amounts of, or we see heavy showers, long spells of rain through central north western Europe, but we see increasing signs of heavy showers and thunderstorms developing through southern Europe as well. So even into the Mediterranean, things will start to wobble more, I think, when we get into next week. Big thunderstorms through North Africa, just extending into the Mediterranean Sea, possibly affecting the Balearic Islands and also southern eastern parts of Spain. More storms may be affecting parts of Greece over on the eastern side of the Mediterranean. Just generally a very unsettled looking scene through much of Europe by the middle of next week. And the temperatures look quite cool as well. Definitely a descent into autumn through most areas. The hottest temperatures are in the extreme eastern part of Europe, and again through much of the Mediterranean, but out to the north and west of Europe it looks pretty cool. And then on into Thursday, once more low pressure is dominating across northern, central and western parts of Europe, possibly hints of a bit of a southerly pulling up some hotter air up the eastern side of Europe, maybe, or some warmer air. So it does look relatively warm in this eastern southeastern part of Europe, quite hot through the eastern Mediterranean, but out to the north and west it remains cool in those areas of low pressure, and they're producing further heavy showers, if not longer spells of rain, and maybe thunderstorms through much of western Europe. Look very unsettled by this point, with Spain and Portugal into France, and then over into Italy as well. Heavy showers, thunderstorms, long spells of rain, and further north, plenty of showers through Scandinavia, the UK and Ireland. They could band together, give longer spells of rain, and probably cold enough for snow, particularly in mountainous regions across the far north Scandinavia. Eastern Europe looks drier. Not completely dry there, but certainly the driest weather will be on the eastern side of Europe, I think, by the latter stages of next week. That's where the warmest temperatures will be as well, with these eastern, southeastern parts of Europe. Once more, it continues to look pretty cool across many northern, central and western parts of Europe. I'll just run you on to day 10, so that's Friday next week. Still pretty unsettled across most areas with that trough of low pressure. Saturday through to Sunday, we'll see high pressure reaching in to these western parts of Europe, so that will turn things more settled. Northern Europe, Scandinavia in particular, still looks unsettled with this area of low pressure. And probably quite hot in the southeastern part of Europe. I think we're drawing up some air from Africa, so that suggests like southern Italy, Balkans, Greece, Turkey, Romania might get some quite hot weather through the first days of October. That's the first weekend of October, of course, the 1st and the 2nd of the month. But we shall have to wait and see about that, I'm sure. Right, so done for European Outlook this week. If you've enjoyed this broadcast, then please can you like, share, subscribe, and thank you so much everybody for doing that. We'll be back shortly with the 10 to 14 day, which will include all Rob Break features, so come back for that later on this afternoon. But for European Outlook for this week, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.